going on, YouTube? Hey, so my wife's car, the G8, it's got this issue where when you accelerate, it starts making like a thumping sound, and it sounds like it's coming from the rear. So I jacked it up in the air, I checked it out. I couldn't find out where the noise was, but it was weird because it only make the noise in like medium to hard acceleration, and it'd be like a thump, 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 almost like wheel hop. I don't know if you guys know what wheel hop is. So I figured out it was not the wheel bearing, the drive line, the carrier bearing. So in case you guys are wondering what kind of that sounds like, I mean, this kind of sounds like someone's thumping the bottom of your car, but it's kind of hitting it with the hand. So I am taking that out, and I don't know if you guys are interested in how it's done or whatever, but I'm gonna show you guys what I had to do. All right, so first off, I jacked the car up with jack stands, and then the first thing I took off was this bracket. This bracket here goes in the center of the car. Let me show you guys. So it goes bolted right in the center right here, and so you take that off, and then you want to unplug your O2 sensors, and then you got to take your exhaust manifold bolts, or not manifold, but your collectors right there. You see them? You gotta be careful with those because the exhaust bolts rust and they will break. And then so I took those loose, I disconnected the O2 sensors, and then it's held on the rear exhaust. It's held by two 13mm. There's this mount here, and you got these two here, and once you drop that down, it comes down, and then you just slide the exhaust back off of the hangers. There's two hangers there, and then two hangers towards the front. And then once you get that off, let me show you guys here. You take that exhaust shield off there, and I am going to show you guys what the carrier bearing looks like. So here's carrier bearing. So what the carrier bearing does is for when you run a two-piece drive shaft, it applies support. For the G8 to actually offer converters, so you can convert it over to a one-piece. But let me check this out so you guys can see that it's not supposed to be like that. There's this gap here. Let me get that in there so you guys can see it. Where you see that? So when you take off and you accelerate, what happens is this starts turning and it starts making that thump sound. So next what I gotta do is I gotta take the bolts off here off of the rear of the transmission. It's held by 3, and then take off the rear ones over there, and then I've got to get that bearing off of the driveline. And I got a new one. I got it from O'Reilly's. I think it was $130. Nobody had it in stock, so I had to order it. You can get it on Amazon. I think on Amazon they're about $100, and some of their websites online. I think it comes out to about $120, but it was, to me, just O'Reilly seemed easier because I didn't have to pay for shipping or anything like that. So, but I'm gonna be taking this off and demonstrating how to pull the bearing off of there. Hopefully it's not too hard. Sometimes they're pressed on and it's a pain in the butt. All right, guys, so I took the driveline out and I went to take it apart, but I didn't have snap ring pliers. So I had to come up here to work and use snap ring pliers. I took a snap ring off, and I ended up just doing the deal here, but I didn't get any footage. But I'll show you. I'll explain what. I you take this dust cover off, and behind the dust cover is a snap ring. Take the snap ring on, pull it off, and then what I did was, there's multiple ways to do it. I use a bearing splitter and then a bearing puller, and it pulled it all out, and then I put the new one on, and I took a punch and I put it into place. Another way you can do it is just try to punch it out through the back. It's more time consuming, and if it comes apart, you have to use a cutting wheel and cut the brace for the bearing. But yeah, so then you put it back on, put your snap ring on, put your dust cover, and then you got this O-ring. Don't forget to lubricate this. But sorry, I was gonna try to do it at home, but I left tools here at work, so I had to come to work. All right, guys, so I had to put the car in neutral. I got the shaft put back together, but I didn't record that. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so the shaft, I have it in. I forgot to mention, before you take the shaft off or apart, mark it. I marked it here, then I marked it here. So this is that dust cover, and so this is a little rubber boot or a bellow. What I did was had a steel band, so I just put a zip tie in there. That works. Used to do it all the time. And you guys probably have questions here. To do these, to take this off, you don't have to drop this mount. What I did was use a flex head ratchet. Got my handy dandy snap-on. They're 19. The 19, and out here they're 18 millimeters. So what you do is you stick this in there. It's got to be a flex head, and stick it behind there and grab a hold. So the best way to do it is to angle it. See, this one's still loose. The best way to do it is get in there, and then you can stick your ratchet back there and grab it, and then I use my impact and get it on over here. It's difficult to do with one hand. But overall, like, from, let's say, I'm a diesel tech. I wrench all the time, but I think this is something that anybody could do. You don't have to have experience or anything like that. It's a very simple job, and a 1 to 10 difficulty, I'd probably put it at 4 or 5. The only thing that can be pain in the butt is taking this off. I already bolted it up back there. Oh, and the exhaust. You might need help. You need 2 people to do that. I'm gonna get my wife out here to help me, but yeah, that's how you do that. You don't have to take this mount off, because if you were to take this mount off, you need to put something on the transmission to support its weight, or a jack or something like that. But I just wanted you guys to see that you don't have to take that mount off to take these off.